You will find to accompany the example video this PDF file, which will explain to you a list of several steps that we're going to go over that will enable this project to be an extremely easy one. Obviously, the first thing you must do is determine what your movie will be about. Then, create a folder and place all of the items that you come across. Place it in this folder so you know where everything is. Collect your photos for your PowerPoint if that is what you intend on doing. Music. Place the music in that folder as well. All the words that you need or what quote you're going to be doing, type that up and place it on a Word document and place it also in that folder. Now, you don't want to say a lot per page. You want to use your photos or a movie to explain everything that's going on. You must create a master text, and we're going to show you how to do that. And the font should be no less than 28, and we feel that the best type of font for doing something like this, especially when you're creating a video, is Comic Sans. So if you follow along with the PDF and the example, you'll find out that you are going to be an author of a very fine project. Now, the only thing that you're limited by is your imagination. You can create a video on just about anything. Now, you're about to put a PowerPoint presentation together, and we're going to show you some really neat, slick tricks to do this. I've already decided that my PowerPoint presentation, or my video, if you will, is going to be on one day in the month of June. Several days in the month of June. What's going on around the world. You'll notice that first of all, you'll see that I placed all my photos in a folder. And what I'm going to do now is place those photos into my PowerPoint. I'd like to show you a little trick here though. I'm going to click on the slide effect, and I want a blank slide, and I want to click on the word insert, and you'll notice it says photo albums. Now remember, I said place all of your pictures in a folder. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click on the word file, disk, and Life Today. Here are all my pictures that I wish to use. There's quite a few of them. Now, I might delete some as we go through this, but I placed a bunch of them in there. I'm going to click on the first picture and hold down my Shift key and scroll down and click on the last picture. When I do that, I'm simply going to click on the word Insert. And you'll notice that we have all of our pictures presented up here at the top. Now, what I would like to do is simply hit the word create. And when I do that, now you have other options here, but we're just simply going to hit the word create. It will place all the pictures in the slide for us. Now you'll notice that the earth and this slide are reversed. Very easily done. Just simply grab it and pull it up to the top and you can move it around. And I really do not want this one second, so I'm going to click on the sorter view and grab it and move it all the way down to the bottom. So now it's the last one. So by using the sorter view, you can move these pictures around. Let's go back up to the first one. Now this slide I don't want at all, so I'm simply going to right click and hit delete slide. And the first slide I have is this one. Let's make it a little bit larger so it encompasses the whole slide, and it's the earth. And then I'm going to place my title in there. To place a title, I'm simply going to click on the word insert and click on my word art and choose any one of these letters, and you can color them and modify them however you like. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, you're only limited by your imagination. Clicking on insert, word art, use this one. Let me type it in. You notice I typed in life around the globe in June. Okay, now what I would like to do is click on my down arrow here and click on shadow, and I would like to have this shadow. So now we have a shadow. You can't really see it real well, so I'm going to click on it again, shadow, and I want shadow options. Now with my shadow options, I'm going to slide over here and change the transparency, make it a little bit darker as you can see it, and the size of it I'm going to make it a little bit larger. So it looks like it's a shadow right on the planet Earth. And I think that I can make it darker. Yep, that's good enough. Simply click on close, and let me move this over just a hair. So that will be my title page, Life Around the Globe in June. Then I just simply go to my next slide, and I'll make this one a little bit larger also. And what I'm going to do here is put a title as to what's going on that right here. And to do that, let me pause here for a second. What I'm going to do is click on the word Insert, Text Box, and put my text box right about here. And what I would like to do is make this a default text box. What I mean is that you'll have the same size text box whenever you type. The font we want to use is Comic Sans. That's found to be the best one when you're creating this type of thing. So I'm going to click on Comic Sans, and the size of my font, I want it to be 28 and bold. Now, what we're going to do here again is right click, and we're going to set it as a default text box. So that means from here on out, anytime we type in there, it's going to be Comic Sans, 28, and bold. So let me type in exactly what's happening here. You'll notice that it says a Chinese couple is burying their children in the sand on a man-made beach in Beijing. Now, you really can't make this out real well, so what I'm going to do is click my right button, and I'm going to format that box. Let me make it yellow, and you can see it a little bit easier. And we don't want to cover up that person's face. Now what you can do, this is optional, I'm going to right click and click on Format Shape. And you can do this too. You'll notice it says, put over here in the middle, 3D, and we could change the width, three-dimensional width. Let me make that a 30, and I'll make this a 60, and you can make a little three-dimensional there, and click on Close. So you decide yourself. You're only limited by your imagination. Then you just simply click on the next page, and you decide what you'd like to place on that one. Make this one a little bit larger, and type in what this gentleman is doing. So you'll notice we've done basically the same thing. I moved the text box up here. I left it yellow, could have been any color you wanted, and it could have been 3D. And then I'm going to go through and place some more text boxes on some of these other pictures so you have a general idea of how this works. And this will just be repetitive. Now with this next slide, and using PowerPoint 2010, this is pretty neat what you can do. Here's a picture like we've had in the past. I'm going to click on it. When I double click on it, you'll notice we have a new tab that appears. You can choose any one of these you would like, and I'm going to choose this one. And it makes it like a frame. Make this picture a little bit smaller. And in doing that, what I can do now is change the border. To change the border, just simply click up here at the top, and she has some red in, so I'll make this a red border. And you notice we have the shadow effect, and if I want to increase the shadow effect, simply click here, shadow optional, and again, just like we've done in the past, I can make it a little bit darker if that's what you like, and I can also increase the size of it, and simply click on close. Now in this situation, what you might want to do, and remember you have other styles that you can work with here, we'll type at the bottom exactly what you're looking at with the text box. Let me do that for you right now. Simply click on Insert, Text Box, and I'm going to place it right about here. So it will explain what we're looking at. Now you'll notice that I had to make the picture a little bit smaller to place all the wording in there, and that's okay. I'm going to click on the picture, and you'll notice it's a little bit off the page. Hold down your Control key and hit your down arrow, and you can see you can very gingerly move it down so you can get it exactly how you want it. Now you can put a different color background in here if you like, or leave it as it is. Now remember, you can leave this picture for the full page or just a small section of it. I'm going to click on this picture again. This time I'm going to click on my down arrow, and I'm going to choose something different. I would like to have the mirror image, and that's this one. And what you'll see in a second what I mean by that. Let me move this up just a little bit. And here we have a mirror image of what's going on. This is a mirror of what you see up there. And then we can actually type in what you're looking at, and using the insert again. To illustrate a different method of a background, I'm going to right click on Format Background, but this time I want to do Picture, Texture, and you'll notice that we have quite a few textures you can work with. The one that just popped up, maybe this one, wouldn't be so bad. And it looks pretty good. Do not hit Apply to All, but hit Close. And you'll notice we have a nice little texture located around the picture. I have a whole bunch of pictures, as you can see here, but what we're going to do is just simply look at this one. This will be the last one. And what I would like to do again is simply click on this picture, and let's choose a different frame or a face. Like this looks pretty good, and choose that, and we'll make it a little bit smaller. Now remember, you're only limited by your imagination here. And move it up here, and I'll use the text box again, and I'm going to type in exactly what we see. Nope, I'm not going to do that. Instead of doing that, what I'm going to do is click on Insert, Shapes, and I'm going to choose this shape and place it right about there. Now in that shape, I'm going to place my text box and type exactly what you're looking for. Now, because of the shape and the green and the background, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to change the color of this to a green. Click on more colors, standard, and make it this green. And I think I need to change the font color to a white, so highlight it and make this a white, a pure white. And I want to make this three-dimensional, so I'm going to right click, Format, 3D Format, and let me change this to 50 by 25, and click on OK. So we have a different type of background. And for my background, different type of background for the wording, and my background here, I'm going to right click, Format, and let's do a texture for this one, and that's kind of cold. I think the first one we picked was not too bad. Well, that one's not bad at all. And don't hit Apply to All, just simply hit Close. So there we go. That looks pretty neat. I think it does. And make sure you save, and save often, and do not forget to back up. We're almost ready to put our music into our video or our PowerPoint. But what we want to do is get the correct timing between all our slides. And this is a perfect way to do it. I'm going to click on Rehearse Timings. And you'll notice on the left is the number of seconds we're on this slide, and this one is overall. When you decide you've been on a slide long enough, just simply hit your down arrow and you go to the next slide. So you can see we're on slide 2 for 5 seconds, but overall 18, 19. Hit your down arrow again, and then you will actually get the exact amount of seconds per slide. And then when you get to the end, it's going to say, do you want to save these? If you hit yes and it's correct, okay. If it isn't, just simply do it over again. I'm simply going to hit yes. And once I've done that, my timing is all set up. In dealing with your transitions, just simply click on the tab Transitions, click on your down arrow, and determine which one you'd like to have. Let's say I like Fade. Once you've done the Fade one, you will determine it's after so many seconds per slide, and then you want to simply click on either Apply to All or have a different transition per slide. And then you're all set to add your music to your PowerPoint presentation. What we would like to do here is show you how to place music into your movie. To do that, I'm going to click on the word Insert on this ribbon. Up here in the upper right hand corner, it says Audio, and we have several different kinds of audios. The one I want to choose is from a file, and I'm going to click on the music that we've already have stored in our folder and simply click on Insert. When we do that, you'll see that in the center here this will appear. Simply click this icon and make sure it's the right music, and it is. Now what we want to do is simply click on Playback, and we wish to hide this while we're making our presentation, so leave that there. Then click on our down arrow, click on Timing. We want this music to start right with the previous, and we're going to have an effect. We want it to stop. Since we only have 7 slides here, if we had more, we would crank that number up to whatever we have. Simply click on OK. Once we've done that, we're on the first slide. I'm going to click on this little icon, and let's see it runs. So you'll notice that you now have a movie. It's ready to be made into a movie, and that's the easiest step. Now, before we make it into a movie, make sure you save your PowerPoint, so you make sure you have all the stuff with it. Next, this is really simple to do. I'm going to click on the word File here in a second. Click on the word File, Save As, and I'm going to give it a title. I'm going to call it Life Around the Globe. But I'm not going to save it as a PowerPoint. I'm going to click on my down arrow and scroll down just a little bit. And you'll notice it's going to allow us to save it as a Windows Media Video. Simply click on that and click on the word Save. And now it's saved as a video. At the bottom of the screen, you can't see it, is a little green slide that's moving across ever so slow. So depending upon the size of your video, this will take a while to come across. So it's going to take a few minutes to convert everything into a video. And once it's done, I'll show you how it will play. Okay, so here's your video. It's in Windows Media Viewer. And as you can see, it's stepping right along just like we thought it would. Okay, that's about it. There's a lot more you can do, but remember, there's an awful lot, but I can't show you everything because this video would be too long.